Hello everybody, this is Ghetto Mozart. We're playing some Schedule 1 today, and I just got done with this docks build, another docks build, where we changed this from a cocoa grow to an Og Kush grow. So this is pumping. I'll leave a link for the full video, but this is just going to be an overview. Again, I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. Sometimes I hit that mark, sometimes not, but let's get right into it. Botanists, pretty self-explanatory. They have all the air pots, and each botanist has 2 drying racks. So we have a total of 4 botanists doing that, and actually we have a total of 5 botanists, but 4 of them are up here, and then one of them's kind of got a special job over here. It's Paul. The only difference I made to the build was I used to have Paul with just more pots back here. But now, since I know we don't need Heavenly, but since we're making Heavenly, we already have a ton of output and a ton of plants backed up, so we just added drying racks instead of more air pots for Paul. Oh, that's not Paul. Yeah, for Paul right here. So he's got 7 drying racks, just helping drying out to get to the Heavenly quality. Just because we can. And then Paul also has a special job with this single air pot. Now this, see how I have it set up, it's only Og Kush seed, so that's the only thing we're growing here, but it doesn't have fertilizer. And if you look at the destination here, it's going to this. Now that's because built in, I wanted to have what I call a delivery mix. Now this is mine. It's energizing, sneaky, athletic, anti-gravity. It's balding too, which doesn't do anything. But the first 4 buffs, you know, do all kinds of stuff. Well, this is just an overview, not how to do buffs, but pretty much we're growing this single air pot with Og Kush going directly to this shelf, which Jesse here, I think it's this shelf. Let's see. Yeah, this shelf. Jesse takes this shelf over to this first mixer here. And this is where we just have a little setup for our delivery mix. All it is Kook, Donut, Energy Drink, Mouthwash in that order with Og Kush. And yeah, that's the output here. I've named it delivery mix. This is what I take. Gives you higher jump, faster, more energy, all that stuff. I trapped or caged the workers up here, so I have this as the supply, if you would want to call it that, and then this is the output. So whenever we need delivery mix, we'll just come over here, and then the safe is only here as a spot holder, so we can get through right here, but the workers can't. Yeah, I did a lot of experimenting with caged workers. I really like how this ended up here. So just these 2 will be stuck up here, so it's way less steps, Although this isn't going to be used much. You see how many, we already have like 80 delivery mix. Yeah, we already have 80 delivery mix. We're not going to use that. That might be like 40 to 80 days worth. So yeah, that's just a little side note, kind of a side build we did. I will show you how I have the handlers set up, but it looks confusing, but it's not, I promise. These are bugged. Both this loading bay 1 and loading bay 2, it's going to show up in the handlers routes as loading dock 0. Alright, so just keep that in mind. The routes are going to be confusing looking at them, but check it out. You're going to need 4 routes from loading bay 1, which is going to say loading bay 0, all the way over to these 4 storage racks. Alright, so that's the first 4. Oops, hitting the wrong one. 1, 2, 3, and 4, all from loading bay 1. Alright, and that is Thomas's routes. And then this last one here is from loading bay 2, and it's going upstairs for the mixing ingredients. Now this we can just make a delivery order if we wanted to Docks Warehouse Bay 2. We could, but usually I'm using all this for the barn. So maybe we will take a break from the barn for a second, and you can order, let's see, Kook, we can get up to 80. Where's energy drink? Right there, and mouthwash. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now this is just going to be like pretty much a one-time thing. We're going to have so much delivery mix, we're not going to know what to do with it. So yeah, this is our, I call him our unloader. He really has all of the unload bays and then supplying the ingredients for the mixing. Steven here. Steven is, we already talked about Steven, nope, it wasn't Steven. Yeah, Steven here has a unique job too, where he's taking directly from the racks that Thomas here is loading to and loading to here, or moving them to here. So all 4 racks are going there. All 4 of these show 2, 3, 4. And this is, if we look, the Botanist supply racks. So all this is really doing, this is really important, we'll go over this in a second, but all this is really doing is holding 120 units of everything. Alright, so it has 1 full rack and a half of Og Kush seeds and fertilizer. Here's the other half. And then soil you don't have to have, because you know this is 3-time use. We just have 1 full rack of soil. And then yeah, Steven is taking that to their supply rack. That's what the botanists are supplied with. And then Steven also has, from loading dock 2, all the way over here. And if you remember, this shelf is our supply for our own delivery mix. I had 1 extra route on Steven, so I figured, just in case I want to have like an Og Kush delivery van, just, you know, stop by here and park it here, Steven will unload it to that shelf. And it'll be, of course, you know, mixed fully for the delivery mix. So, you know, that last route isn't necessary, but I thought it was kind of cool if we do want to just park a van there and Steven will automatically unload it to here. Yeah, I think that covers all the workers. I think that covers all. Ryan here, I just have 3 trash cans spread out. The chemist, of course, just has each mixer. I like to do it in order. This is mixer 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all the workers. Just double check these routes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Like I said, the botanist, 6 air pots, 2 drying racks. Paul is the one, that's not Paul. Paul's the one with the extra drying racks, and that's just because we have so many plants already grown. So we're just trying to dry them out faster. Again, we don't need to do this. We already have them premium coming out. Or are they standard coming out? Let me see. No, they're premium. Yeah. So we don't have to do that. It's just an extra step. That's kind of cool. Now the last thing I'd just like to show you, the lockers upstairs and then these air pots. Look how nice that is. We have 8 lockers just stuffed right here, and then 2 in the front, and these 2 are the workers that are caged right here. So these lockers, yeah, this build worked out really well because of that. We could put a whole new station up there for mixing, and it's kind of cool that, you know, 2 left over for the 2 caged workers, so I know who they are. I can't wait until the lockers are color coded, or at least maybe like labeled workers, like, you know, cleaner, botanist, handler. And then I guess the last thing to show you all is just, the drying racks. Of course, if you've seen my builds before, I like to use safes as the final product just to kind of stand apart from a rack or something. Wow, these are already filled. That's crazy. This is pumping. I did not expect this to produce so quickly, but yeah, this is full. We'll have to unload that and go process it. But all the drying racks are going to both of those safes, and I just have these pots spread out. Now, if you watch the first video, is 3 pots per drying rack. Some of them still have that, but some of them do have 2 pots per drying rack. Just trying to speed that up a little bit. You see how many plants are already grown. So yeah, this is super efficient already. I'm super happy with how this turned out. But yeah, if I had any tips, it would just be to, oh wow, huge lag there. It would be to buy less Viper bands. But no, for real, if I had any tips, of course you don't have to use these drying racks. You can just stuff this full of air pots. But if you are using drying racks, yeah, just have as many as you can, just for efficiency, because that's really what we're waiting on. But yeah, that is it for the overview. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope we stayed under 10 minutes. I always try to. Real quick before I say goodbye to y'all, about 97% of you that watch the videos aren't subscribed. So if you do like these videos, please do subscribe, and once in a while leave me a comment or a like. I'd really appreciate that. It would really help grow the channel. You'll see I'm pretty small right now, but I have tons of videos and tons of plans for Schedule 1, the game, and as it releases, we're going to have a ton of fun redoing our worlds again. So yeah, thank you for following, thank you for viewing. Please sub if you like these videos, and have yourself a great day.